1940. What if I told you that a simple $50 from 1940, one that might still be resting in an old family drawer, could be worth thousands today? Yes, a coin that once bought a hearty meal during the Great Depression could now buy a luxury vacation. This isn't just any coin. This is the 1940 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50, a shining reminder of America's resilience, artistry, and history wrapped in silver. Picture this, it's 1940. The world stands on the edge of war, and the United States is rebuilding its spirit after a decade of struggle. In that same year, the U.S. Mint struck a limited number of $50, beautifully detailed with Thomas Jefferson's Monticello home. Most were ordinary. But a few, struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, came out sharper, brighter, and unlike the rest. Over the decades, these coins slipped quietly into pockets, purses, and old war chests, forgotten by time. Until collectors, decades later, began to realize just how extraordinary they were. The 1940 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 stands out because of its precision and scarcity. Struck in Philadelphia, where coins bore no mint mark, this particular issue is known for its deep mirror-like finish, strong design details, and remarkably low survival rate in high grades. Most were spent, melted down, or lost during wartime silver drives. But the few that remain today, in pristine condition, are commanding astonishing prices in auctions, sometimes exceeding several $1,000s. Collectors crave them, not just for their rarity, but because they represent a turning point in American coinage and craftsmanship. Imagine this: someone's grandfather once paid for a newspaper with one of these rare coins, not realizing he was holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Countless treasures like these have been unknowingly given away, spent, or tucked away in coffee cans for generations. Every time one of these coins is found, the value goes up, because fewer and fewer remain. That's why collectors across the country are now searching feverishly for the next one to surface. The key is the date, 1940. Look closely under the design. There should be no mint mark at all. The coin should have a sharp, clean image of Thomas Jefferson and the Monticello building on the reverse side. If the surfaces are mirror-like or deeply reflective, you may be holding a proof-like specimen, the kind collectors dream about. If you think you found one, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop or local market. Have it authenticated by experts like PCGS or NGC. A simple certification could multiply its value overnight, turning what looks like pocket change into a prized collectible sought after by museums and private buyers alike. That old jar of coins sitting in your kitchen? It might hold more than just memories, it could hold your next great discovery. Every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. So before you give away that old change, take a closer look. History could be staring right back at you. And if you love uncovering treasures from America's past, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1941. What if I told you that a single coin from 1941, one that might be sitting quietly in an old cigar box or tucked away in your father's dresser drawer, could now be worth a small fortune? Yes, the 1941 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson $50, a coin many once spent without a second thought, has become one of the most sought-after pieces of American history. Back in 1941, America was standing at the edge of a world war. Families were holding on to hope, and every coin carried meaning. In a small town, a young boy named Henry saved his coins in a tin jar, every nickel, dime, and $50 representing a dream for the future. Among those coins was a shining 1941 Monticello $50 without a mint mark, minted in Philadelphia before the chaos of wartime production. Years later, long after Henry had grown old, his grandson rediscovered that very coin in a dusty attic box. When it was appraised, collectors were astonished. The coin's pristine condition and historical purity made it one of the rarest finds of its kind, a true gem from an age of sacrifice and strength. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just its age, it's the absence of a mint mark. Most coins from that era bore a small D or S, representing Denver or San Francisco. But the 1941 no-mint mark Monticello half-dollar came straight from Philadelphia's main mint, where production was limited and the attention to detail was unmatched. Those coins that survived in exceptional condition, free from scratches or wear, are now fetching thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, from serious collectors who recognize their historical and monetary value. Countless people over the years have spent or traded this coin without realizing what they held in their hands. Some cashed in old jars for pocket change, not knowing they were letting go of a rare treasure that could have paid for a dream vacation, or even a child's education. It's heartbreaking to think how many priceless coins vanished into circulation simply because no one took a closer look. When you hold a 1941 Monticello half-dollar, pay attention. The front shows Thomas Jefferson's dignified portrait, bold, classic, unmistakable. Flip it over and you'll see the Monticello, Jefferson's Grand Virginia home, with the date, 1941, below. What you won't see, if it's the rare version, is a mint mark. That missing letter is what sets it apart, a silent indicator of immense value and historical importance that if you suspect you have one, don't guess, confirm it. Send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate and grade your coin, sometimes uncovering values far beyond what you imagined. A simple evaluation could reveal a treasure hidden in plain sight. So before you toss aside that old change jar or pass down that dusty collection without a second glance, take one more look. History isn't just written in books, it's etched in metal, carried in your pocket, and waiting to be rediscovered. That 1941 no-mint mark Monticello half-dollar might just be the key to a story, and a fortune you never knew you had. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1942. What if I told you that a simple silver half-dollar from 1942, one you might have seen in your father's change jar, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, the humble 1942 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar isn't just another old coin. It's a piece of American history, forged in the fires of World War II, and today, collectors across the country are hunting for it like buried treasure. Picture this, it's 1942. The world is at war. Every ounce of metal, every piece of silver, was precious. Americans were saving, rationing, and sacrificing. Yet, in the midst of that, the U.S. Mint produced a coin that would go on to capture the hearts of collectors 8 decades later. The 1942 Monticello Thomas half-dollar, with no mint mark, was quietly struck in Philadelphia. Many were lost to time, melted down, or simply spent on a loaf of bread or a gallon of gas. But a few survived, hidden in drawers, tucked away in cigar boxes, waiting to tell their story again. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just its age, it's its purity, its story, and its rarity. The 1942 no-mint mark half-dollar was struck in a limited run at the Philadelphia Mint and crafted from 90% silver. Collectors prize it for its stunning Monticello design, crisp detailing of Jefferson's proud profile, and the unique wartime silver composition that makes it shimmer unlike any other. Pristine versions of this coin, especially those with full steps visible on Monticello, have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. Some reaching thousands of dollars at auction. There are stories of people who once spent these coins without a second thought. A retired veteran once told me he used to give one of these half-dollars every Sunday to his grandson for candy. He never knew those little gifts would one day be worth more than a college tuition payment. Today, collectors everywhere are searching for this exact coin, and each year, it becomes harder to find. The time to check your collection, or your old jars of coins, is now. The key is in the details. The date must read 1942, and there will be no mint mark under Monticello, just a smooth, clean surface where other coins might show a small letter. When you tilt it to the light, that rich silver luster should still shine through. And if your coin has full, sharp steps on the Monticello building, you may just be holding a small fortune. If you believe you found one, don't take chances. Get it authenticated through trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts will confirm its condition and authenticity, and that official certification can multiply its market value. So before you dismiss that old box of coins sitting in the attic, take another look. That 1942 half dollar, the same kind your parents or grandparents might have spent, could be your hidden treasure. Coins like this remind us that history isn't gone, it's waiting to be rediscovered, right in the palm of your hand. And who knows? The next great American treasure might be sitting in your home right now. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history hiding in plain sight. 1943. What if I told you that a coin minted over 80 years ago, a 1943 no-mint mark Monticello half dollar, could be worth more today than a brand new car? Imagine holding a small piece of American history in your hand, not realizing it's a hidden treasure that collectors around the world are desperately searching for. During the height of World War II, in 1943, America was fighting not just on the battlefield but in its factories, its homes, and even its mints. Every piece of metal mattered. Silver was precious, nickel was needed for weapons, and the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to keep the nation's coinage running. Somewhere in that chaos, a handful of half dollars slipped through, struck with an unusual composition and bearing no mint mark. These coins, featuring the iconic Monticello and Thomas Jefferson design, were never meant to exist exactly as they did. Yet, a few survived, tucked away in drawers, passed through generations, waiting for someone with a careful eye to rediscover them. The 1943 no-mint mark Monticello half dollar is special because it was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint experimented with metals due to wartime shortages. Most 1943 half dollars were struck in silver, but a few were made in experimental planchets, giving them a unique luster and tone. The lack of a mint mark indicates it was made in Philadelphia, the heart of America's minting history. Today, collectors are willing to pay thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, for well-preserved examples. High-grade pieces certified by experts have set record-breaking prices at auctions, making this coin one of the most sought-after treasures from the 1940s. There are countless stories of people who once held these coins without realizing their worth. One man reportedly spent his 1943 half dollar at a diner in the 1970s, thinking it was worth only 50 cents, not knowing that today, that same coin could have changed his retirement. Moments like that remind us that fortune often hides in the smallest, most ordinary places, right in our own pockets, our old jars, or our family collections. What to look for? If you have a 1943 half dollar, pay close attention. The coin should have the image of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello on one side, but most importantly, it should lack a mint mark below the building. Its surface may look slightly different, a subtle tone or shine from the experimental metal used. Every detail matters, and that tiny difference could be the key to unlocking a fortune. To confirm its authenticity and true value, have the coin professionally graded by trusted organizations like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate your coin, determine its grade, and help you understand its market value. With demand for rare wartime coins soaring, the right certification could make your find even more valuable. So before you spend that old coin or toss it into a drawer, take one more look. That 1943 no-mint mark Monticello half dollar might be your chance to own a rare piece of America's wartime legacy, and a treasure that grows more valuable every year. That old jar in your kitchen? It might just hold your future. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history, one coin at a time. 1944. What if I told you that a single half dollar from 1944, one that looks completely ordinary, could be worth a small fortune today? Yes, the 1944 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half dollar, a coin born in the heart of World War II, is now one of the most sought-after treasures among collectors and historians alike. Somewhere, sitting quietly in an old drawer or change jar, one of these rare coins might still be waiting to change someone's life forever. Picture this, it's 1944. America is at war, families are rationing food, and the nation's spirit is held together by hope and unity. In those years, every coin minted carried a deeper meaning, a symbol of resilience. The Monticello Thomas half dollar was no exception. It bore the image of Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello, a quiet nod to the principles of freedom and wisdom that defined the country. Yet among millions of coins struck that year, a small batch without a mint mark, produced quietly at the Philadelphia Mint, would become a hidden treasure for future generations. Decades later, collectors would discover just how rare and valuable these no-mint mark 1944 halves truly were. The 1944 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar stands apart because of its historical context, limited mintage, and near-perfect wartime preservation. Most coins from that era were heavily circulated, used daily by soldiers' families and everyday Americans, but finding one in pristine condition without the mint mark is like striking gold. These coins have fetched thousands of dollars in auctions, with high-grade specimens climbing to breathtaking prices as collectors compete to secure a piece of wartime American history. Many people once spent these coins without a second thought, maybe at a corner store for a soda, or to pay for gas in the 1950s. Imagine unknowingly handing over a coin that today could be worth a family vacation, or even more. It's a reminder that history often hides in plain sight, waiting for those with eyes to see it. Don't let that happen to you. If you happen to come across a 1944 half-dollar, look closely at the details. The coin should feature Monticello on the reverse, with no mint mark beneath it, a clear sign it was struck in Philadelphia. Check its condition carefully. Coins with crisp details and minimal wear are in especially high demand. Every small mark, every line of Jefferson's portrait, tells the story of a moment in American history frozen in silver. To confirm its authenticity and grade, have it professionally evaluated by trusted organizations like PCGS or NGC. These experts can determine its exact value, ensuring you don't undersell a true piece of American heritage. So before you pass by that old box of coins in your attic or that forgotten jar in the kitchen, take another look. That 1944 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar could be your hidden treasure, a connection to the past and a bridge to a brighter tomorrow. History isn't just found in museums, sometimes, it jingles in your own pocket. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, because we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1945. What if I told you that a simple half-dollar from 1945, a coin that may have passed through your grandfather's hands, could today be worth more than a brand new car? Yes, that old Monticello Thomas half-dollar, with no mint mark at all, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history. Many people have walked right past it without ever realizing the quiet fortune they held. Picture this, it's 1945. The war has just ended, families are reuniting, and America is stepping into a new era of hope. A young man in his uniform walks into a small-town diner, pays for his coffee with a few half-dollars, and one of those just happens to be a 1945 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar. Decades later, that same coin surfaces in an old cigar box found in a dusty attic, perfectly preserved. What was once spare change is now a piece of living history, connecting generations through its silver shine and wartime story. Here's what makes this coin truly extraordinary. The 1945 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar was struck in Philadelphia during a time when the country was shifting resources after World War II. Because of limited runs, special die varieties, and unique silver content, very few of these coins survived in pristine condition. Most were melted down, spent, or damaged over time, making surviving examples incredibly rare. Collectors today are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands, for a high-grade specimen, especially those with deep original luster and sharp strike details. Too many people have unknowingly spent these treasures over the years. A man in Illinois once traded a handful of old coins, including a 1945 no-mint mark half-dollar, for a few dollars at a flea market, not realizing that single coin could have paid for his dream vacation. These stories remind us that history isn't just locked in museums. It's hiding in plain sight, in your change jar, your old dresser, or your father's collection box. If you ever come across a 1945 half-dollar, look closely. The front features the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, beautifully detailed. On the reverse, the absence of a mint mark beneath the building confirms it was struck in Philadelphia. The coin should have a warm silver tone, with the year 1945 clearly visible and crisp lettering around the edge. Every small detail could mean the difference between pocket change and a rare collector's prize. If you believe you found one, don't guess, verify. Reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm authenticity and condition, helping you uncover its true market value. A professional opinion can turn a simple discovery into a certified piece of history, ready to be showcased or sold to passionate collectors. So before you toss that old coin jar aside, take another look. That silver $50 resting quietly in the corner might just be your hidden treasure, a silent witness to American history and a symbol of endurance through time. Because sometimes, the wealth we seek has already passed through our hands. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history that's hiding in plain sight, one coin at a time.